Welcome to the City Council special meeting this Thursday evening, February 6th. I now call the meeting to order. City Clerk, please call the roll.
With Player Mayor Newsom, Councilmember Diaz-Nash,
Here.
Councilmember Svirko-Gaditsky,
Here.
Councilmember Fernandez,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Lorraine,
Here.
Mayor Newsom.
Here. We're excited to be here in person tonight with options for those who choose not to be in person to participate virtually. There are several ways to participate. For those attending in person, complete a purple request to speak slip and hand it to the city clerk. Usually they're yellow, so that's special. In participating remotely, use the raise your hand feature in Zoom, and you will be called on at the appropriate time. If calling in via phone, press *9 to raise your hand, and when called upon, press *6. These options for public comment will remain available until I close the public comment period for each specific item. On the agenda tonight is just one item, City Council resolution of no confidence in position and call for resignation adoption. We're going to have a presentation by Council Member Danielle Sawurko-Kadiki.
Well, thank you all for being here tonight. Given the very serious nature of the allegations raised against Sheriff Corpus and the fact that a number of other city councils in the county have already expressed no confidence in the sheriff, I felt it was appropriate for our body to weigh in and let the community know where we stand. And that's why I called for a vote. So before you tonight is a resolution. The resolution is for the City Council of the City of San Mateo stating the City Council's position of no confidence in Sheriff Cristina Corpus and calling on Sheriff Corpus to resign. So, thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to public comment. I know we have some public comment. Please come forward if you're in person.
If you haven't already, please provide me with a request to speak slip if you wish to speak on this item. If you are participating via our virtual environment, please raise your hand. Now I will give you a few moments to do so. Mayor Newsom, we have a total of 9 requests to speak on this item, and user with the name DC Gill will be our last speaker on this item from our virtual environment. When I call your name, if you could please come up and line up to my left here, that'll make sure that we get through all of our public comments efficiently. Our first speaker will be Mike Nash, followed by Elliot Storch and Vanessa Lemus Tapia. Please go right ahead.
Good evening, council members, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on this matter. My name is Mike Nash. I'm a correctional officer with the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office, and I have the honor of serving as a board member with the Deputy Sheriff Association. I'm a resident of San Mateo, and I'm here tonight to respectfully ask that you take a stand against corruption and cast a vote of no confidence in Sheriff Cristina Corpus. I'm certain that you are all aware of the deplorable actions taken by the sheriff as outlined in the independent report led by the Honourable Lourdes Cordell. However, the issue extends beyond just the Cordell report. It represents the everyday struggles faced by the men and women within the sheriff's office. Retaliation, dishonesty, scandal, and even wrongful arrests have become the norm. More critically, this behaviour undermines the public safety across the county and even affects your city and community. A vote of no confidence would send a strong message of solidarity against corruption and a commitment to safeguarding the well-being of all residents. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next 3 speakers will be Elliot Storch, followed by Vanessa Lemus Tapia and Rich Hedges.
Good evening. My name is Elliot Storch. I'm a detective with the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office and the secretary of the San Mateo County Deputy Sheriff's Association. And I'm also a graduate of San Mateo High School, so go Bearcats. Sheriff Corpus's many misdeeds are well known at this point. She has openly used racist and homophobic language, elevated her alleged romantic partner to high positions in the agency, and engaged in what we believe to be a criminal conspiracy to arrest the DSA president on unlawful charges. She respects no one but herself, and she is clearly unfit to continue as sheriff. Sheriff Corpus will say that this is a political hit job because of her race and gender. This is a lie. She'll say that it's a small group of entrenched resistors arguing against her. This is a lie. She'll say that this is because of a budget disagreement. This is a lie. She speaks about culture change, and yet what she has done is create a culture of fear and retaliation in this agency. Everything that has happened is because of her immoral decisions and her abusive behavior. The DSA deeply appreciates that the San Mateo City Council recognizes these issues and is willing to speak out. While deputies do not patrol San Mateo, the residents of the city still rely on the sheriff's office. We staff the jails, we keep the courts safe, we investigate crimes on trains and buses in the city, and we assist the San Mateo Police Department with mutual aid requests. The members of the sheriff's office, along with the residents of San Mateo and all of the people who live in this county, deserve a sheriff that we can trust. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Vanessa Lemus Tapia, followed by Rich Hedges and Hector Acosta.
Good evening, council members, mayor, deputy mayor, and staff. Thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. My name is Vanessa Lemos Tapia, and I come before you as someone who placed my trust in Sheriff Christina Corpus, his commitments to accountability and transparency. I supported her campaign with the hope that she would bring about genuine change. However, today I must express that she has let us down. I urge this council to adopt this resolution and take a stand alongside San Carlos, Millbrae, county officials, state and federal leaders, labor unions, the Democratic Party, the men and the women of the sheriff's office who have already declared their vote of no confidence in Christina Corpus and are calling for her resignation. The failure of Sheriff Christina Corpus's administration are undeniable. As a union advocate, I believe in standing up for workers' rights. Yet under Sheriff Corpus's administration, labor violations and HR complaints have been ignored, creating a culture where employees feel unsafe and unheard. True leadership means holding people accountable, not promoting Victor INJ despite serious allegations and an overwhelming vote of no confidence from her own department. If she truly cared about the employees, she would have acted and done her own investigation. Instead, she has denied, deflected, and failed the department, and most importantly, failed the people of San Mateo County. As a commissioner for the San Mateo County LGBTQI Commission, I'm deeply committed to advocating for my community. Experts confirmed that the sheriff sent homophobic texts. This is completely unacceptable. It impacts not only our deputies, but our marginalized communities that deserve respect, fairness, and accountability. If you haven't already, I urge you to read the report, ask your local electeds why they have no confidence in her, speak with the deputies and those directly impacted, and demand answers from Sheriff Corpus herself. True leadership demands accountability, and so far, she has shown none. We deserve a sheriff we can trust. Thanks again for this opportunity, and I urge you to pass this resolution and vote yes on A. Doing so will reaffirm your commitment to the well-being of our community and the integrity of those who serve it. Thank you for your time and dedication to San Mateo County.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Rich Hedges, followed by Hector Acosta and Julie Lind.
Good evening. My name is Rich Hedges. I'm the treasurer of the San Mateo County Central Labor Council that stands in brotherhood with our police officers with the county. I've been told, and I absolutely oppose the idea that this is not our business. It is directly our business. Our business or our city supports the sheriff's office. Our county taxes for our property goes to fund the sheriff's department. Portions of our sales tax goes to fund the sheriff's office. And the sheriff's office work with our police department, which I respect so highly, and to effectuate the safety of our residents. This is a moral obligation and a business operation of this city to vote no confidence in this sheriff and help to remove her from office. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Hector Acosta, followed by Julie Lind.
Good evening. My name is Hector Acosta. I'm the president of the Organization of Sheriff Sergeants. And to be honest, I didn't prepare a speech because I wasn't planning on speaking tonight for fear of retaliation. As the president of the Organization of Sheriff Sergeants, I've taken a step back, and I hate that I've done that, but I've been retaliated against already, and I fear it, and it's real. So I feel like I've abandoned my fellow union members, so I'm here tonight. I don't want to be here because I'm pretty sure something's going to come of this. Carlos and I and the rest of the union members have seen firsthand what it's like dealing with Victor and Christina Corpus, and the retaliation is real. And she sits back and says, oh, this is a power grab, and it's because I'm Latina. And that boils my blood because I'm a Latino. Carlos is Latino. All the women in my life that I love are Latinas. So for her to say that is extremely offensive to me and to the women in my life, because when she was elected, I spoke highly of her to my kids, and I said, hey, this is a role model for us. Not knowing the way she was going to treat her people and treat us. And so I just want to say thank you for holding this resolution. I hope you pass it because we need change. The fear is real, as well as the demoralization of our office. We need some change and we need help. So if you could pass it tonight, we really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And our final speaker in chambers will be Julie Lind.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, honorable council members and staff. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today. My name is Julie Lind, and on behalf of the 102 affiliated unions and over 95,000 members and their families represented by the San Mateo Labor Council, I thank you for bringing forward this resolution and recommend your adoption. Christina Corpus has failed us, has failed our county, and it's time for her to go. You heard from members of the sheriff's office tonight, but like Hector said, many others are too afraid to speak. Why? Because the administration operates through lies, secrecy, intimidation, retaliation, conflicts of interest, and abuses of power. Words not from any of us, but from the independent investigation commissioned by the county itself. Instead of addressing these findings, Sheriff Corpus refuses to take responsibility. She just doubles down on the denials. It's not just bad leadership, it's dangerous. And then there's the blatantly unlawful arrest of DSA President Carlos Tapia, a move so outrageous that the DA refused to press charges, stating that no crime was committed and he shouldn't have been arrested. Yet despite this, Sheriff Corpus continues to weaponize internal affairs against him, keeping him on administrative leave. Enough is enough. Additionally, this is an issue of countywide public safety, including for cities like yours that maintain their own police force. If you've ever ridden Caltrain, visited Millbrae, San Carlos, Half Moon Bay, or Portola Valley, attended a board of supervisors meeting, or been in a county courtroom, your safety has been protected by the people of the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office. I imagine that's most of the residents of San Mateo, and probably all of you up here. Further, not only is it an issue of countywide public safety, it's an issue of countywide public service. The longer she remains in office, the more lawsuits against the county will inevitably come, as within the mere 2 years she's been sheriff, her administration has racked up the largest amount of HR complaints in the history of the county in 2 years. Should the county lose any of those suits, the required settlement payments will come out of the county's general fund. That touches all of us. And on top of that, if the state refuses to give our county our VLF money, which in itself is over $70 million in general fund revenue, a good chunk of which is yours in San Mateo, the results will be catastrophic. They'll equate to positions eliminated, services rolled back or removed, will endanger our social safety net. Every public service the county provides is at risk. And every taxpayer will literally be footing the bill for her failures, and those impacts will be felt far beyond public safety. This administration is beyond repair. Sheriff Corpus must go. I urge you, stand with the working people of San Mateo County. Stand with those who put their lives on the line for us. Pass this resolution and send a clear message. Sheriff Corpus is unfit to lead, and we will not tolerate this any longer.
Thank you.
Make sure to vote yes on Measure A, return your ballot by March 4th, and help San Mateo County get to where we need to get, because this is the only way we're going to get there.
Thank you. Our next speaker, moving to our virtual environment, will be Dave. Dave, please unmute your mic.
Honorable Mayor and Council members, I'm Dave Cohen, speaking for Ethics San Mateo. We are not, as is our practice, taking a position on either the proposed vote of no confidence or ballot Measure A. We do, however, want to remark that in light of the established facts, the allegations, and the denials, it is essential that government agencies have a strong, comprehensive, and enforceable code of conduct with independent oversight. It has to go beyond mission statements and public platitudes. The costs of conflicts well exceed the cost of preventative measures, not just in money, but in people's well-being, in business, in everything. You have received some low-cost suggestions for our city to improve and establish a proper code of conduct and ethics standards. Please, for the benefit of our city and residents, consider them. Because without them, the city of San Mateo could someday find itself in a similar, untenable situation. And that really would be a shame when you have an opportunity to prevent it. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final speaker will be Stegink Dan. Please go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you, council members. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. I see I have a minute 30 on there. I am the ballot measure opponent here. Yesterday, I listened to Carlos Tapia for about 45 minutes, and his own statements are this is primarily a disagreement about 17 million biannual in overtime, double overtime wages on here. This is a labor problem. The Board of Supervisors should have inserted a labor negotiator and solved this problem in 72 hours. Instead, it's a power grab by a few local supervisors who seek to appoint an insider loyal to them and elevate their own district attorney campaign. Measure A is voter suppression and strips voters of their right to elect an independent sheriff, turning our direct democracy into a bureaucracy where a few loyal politicians make all the rules and appoint their friends to office. Measure A is an illegal maneuver that will not survive a court challenge. And the judge has openly stated that the quasi-judicial act of the Board of Supervisors removing any sitting sheriff is extremely unlikely to be legal. Your sheriff, Christina Corpus, has made great progress. 0 homicides in unincorporated San Mateo County in 2024. My immediate family lives in 8023 all the way down to San Jose. And during the pandemic, I had 4 immediate family members who had neighbors within 250 feet murdered within a 6-month period. 0 homicides in 2024. Your kids don't go to school worried that they're going to get murdered every day. That's because you've got strong deputies. You've got a strong sheriff and you've got a strong DSA. You can support all 3. You don't have to pick. You don't have to pick one or the other. Rapes down 26%. Don't let them steal your vote and your family's safety. Vote no on Measure A, which weakens law enforcement and jeopardizes public safety. I believe I was one of 4 people at that court case. I think there was 10 attorneys there listening to Judge Nicole Healy, and they specifically said they will separate the legislative act of calling an election from the quasi-judicial act of removing any elected from office. And the idea that there's a state mechanism for the Board of Supervisors immediately removing a sitting sheriff is not borne out by reality. This is going to be extremely expensive. 0 chance this will pass a court of law. And I strongly urge everyone here to vote no on Measure A. You can support the DSA, you can support the DA, and you can support the sheriff simultaneously. This is a huge waste of time. It's a huge waste of money, and it's going to be a gigantic lawsuit that could have paid these $34 million worth of double overtime a year for almost a decade to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mayor Newsom, our final speaker will be Gina Pappin. Gina, please unmute your mic.
Thank you. And thank you to the San Mateo City Council for bringing this forward. You've heard firsthand from the deputies that work night and day to protect all of us throughout the county here. That's the real story. The judge's independent report is true. There's been no question about the findings there. This is something that's very serious, as is Measure A. The voters now have their ballots in hand. And by this city council sending a message of no confidence, you believe what is being said here. And it is the truth. Coming from the city of Millbrae, I can tell you that. The people that work here, who have given their time and all of their efforts here, are living in a world of intimidation and retaliation each and every day that goes by. You heard from Julie Lind here, more HR complaints than ever. This is not the way anyone should be living or working in this kind of environment. The only way forward, as pointed out by the judge, is a change in leadership. The only way that can happen is by city councils like yours speaking up, giving a vote of no confidence, and sending a message to the voters that yes, on Measure A must happen. Christina Corpus must go. She has been given every opportunity to participate and say before the judge what her truth is. Instead, she is just in denial about everything. We need to be concerned about the people that live and work here and the public safety that impacts us all each and every day. Thank you for bringing this forward, and I do hope you support this measure as you have already supported Measure A. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Newsom, that concludes public comment.
Mr. Clerk, could we just do one last call in the room to make sure no one has come in that wants to speak?
If you intended on speaking on this item and you have not given us a request to speak slip at this point, not seen anyone.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. One of the reporters that I spoke to earlier tonight said that the sheriff would want to be coming in to present, and I'd wanted to make sure with my fellow counsel that none of them have been contacted, because I have not. Okay, so we have given her the opportunity to come in and say her piece. And I'll close public comment. So now we'll move on to questions and comments from the council. Does anyone want to begin? Okay.
Thank you. And through the mayor, thank you to my colleagues and staff for coming out tonight for this special meeting. None of us wants to be here. All of us were elected to our positions to serve our community. Staff is here to do the work of the people. Everyone who is here on behalf of the community. But we think it's important enough, and I feel it's important enough, to participate in this special meeting and support a no confidence motion. I am so saddened that we are here, but I do believe that Sheriff Corpus and her actions that have been documented in the report just have denigrated our community's public safety efforts. San Mateo County is a special county. We work closely together. We all have our own jobs, but the city works with the county works with the city. Community members from all over the place. People even confuse San Mateo with San Mateo County. That's about as integrated as we can possibly be. And we are grateful to the sheriffs, and we are grateful to everyone associated for all the work they do on behalf of the people of San Mateo. In fact, some of our police officers have gone on to work in the sheriff's organization. So I am as I said, very sorry, but I have come to the conclusion that there is no alternative but to support the no confidence resolution. Thank you.
Councilwoman Fernandez.
I want to, like Councilmember Diaz-Nash, I want to thank everybody who's out here today. I want to thank city staff, Councilmember Swierkiewicz for introducing this resolution, and most especially our partners in law enforcement. And I want to make sure that you know that we appreciate you taking the time to be here this evening. We are the largest city in San Mateo County, and so where we go, so goes the county. It's really important that San Mateo take a stand on this matter. And we stand strongly with law enforcement and we stand strongly with workers. So I will be voting yes on this resolution, and I will also be turning in my ballot after this meeting to the box outside.
Thank you. Want to go next, Danielle? Councilwoman Swierkiewicz.
Thank you, Mayor Newsom. Ethical leadership at all levels in government is incredibly important to me and the residents of San Mateo. As you heard tonight, the fact that the unions representing the Sheriff's Department officers support Measure A shows how serious this problem has become. If staff have lost confidence in leadership, that affects performance and morale. This, in my opinion, suggests change is needed, and I will be supporting a vote of no confidence.
Deputy Mayor Lorraine.
Thank you. Yes, I'll be brief. I will be voting in support of this. I am intellectually in alignment with what has been presented. And earlier, I think when others brought up something like this or various forms during reports and announcements, I was initially unsure of proceeding because council had been given advice to consider staying out of this matter. And initially, I felt it was important to heed that advice. But I just want to mention that intellectually, I am aligned with what has been brought forth. I, as an individual, did endorse Measure A and do intend to vote for that as well. So I am in support of much of what I heard tonight. My comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Well, I too initially thought this is county business and we're the city. But as I've weighed in and learned more about this, the crossovers between the city of San Mateo and the county cannot be overlooked. The deputy police department obviously run our jails. They run our courthouses, one of which is in San Mateo. They provide safety and security on the rail corridor. San Mateo is home to many of these deputy sheriff employees. And as such, we cannot allow them to be working in a hostile work environment. We can't allow the sheriff to continue to berate management and punish people for being whistleblowers. And for that reason, I already cast my vote this morning, yes on A, and I will also be supporting this measure. Deputy Clerk, could we please take a roll call? Or do we need to?
Require a motion and a second.
All right, can we get a motion then, please?
I move that we support Measure A, or the resolution in front of us about Measure A.
I second.
Okay, do we need to read it?
No, you don't need to read it. You can just simply state that you support the motion that's part of the agenda packet, which is the vote of no confidence. It doesn't specifically mention Measure A.
Do I need to modify my action here?
You could just say that you support the resolution that's part of the agenda packet.
Okay, I move that we support the resolution that is a part of the agenda packet.
I second.
All right, Mr. Clerk, could you please take a roll?
Councilmember Fernandez,
Yes.
Councilmember Swierkiewicz,
Yes.
Councilmember Diaz-Nash,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lorraine,
Yes.
Mayor Newsom.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
And that brings us to the end of the meeting. So with that, I'll adjourn this special session tonight of the San Mateo City Council.